What's up, it's Ivaldi Sako. Welcome to this business and self-improvement show. Today, we'll talk about whatever you saw in the title of this podcast, of course, and those specific things as well. So, the 4 reasons why people make bad decisions, which could screw their life up. The 4 steps to make great decisions instead, fast, and avoid making bad ones. The 1 simple question to discover your true mission in life, to be really aligned with what you do, is going to be pretty simple. And if you have already discovered your true mission in life, it's going to reaffirm it. How to know exactly what you should do, what you should be doing this year, this month, this week, but also today and right now, at any given moment in your life. So you will know exactly what's the right thing for you to do right now, what's the essential thing to do for you right now, by asking yourself a series of questions, which will make sense when we'll get to it. We'll also talk about how to make progress when you're stuck, to make progress with your goals when you're stuck. You've been stuck for a long time, or even like just for a short time, how to pass through that and actually make progress. We'll also talk about the 1 system to stay motivated all the time and never risk giving up. Because if you have this system, your chances of success and not giving up increase so much that it just makes your life that much more effective and less risky. We'll also talk about the 7 lessons that I learned this week to help you solve your problems better and be more productive. So, and maybe some other interesting stuff as well. We'll see. I have not a precise idea for the other things. We'll see. So yeah. By the way, if you don't know me, if you're new here, my name is Ivaldi Sako. I went from not wanting to live anymore to going into business with the guy making $300,000 a month, and then going into business myself. All that with the catalyst being online content. It changed my life. It made me discover that I could become more, I could do more things, I could progress, have a business myself. Oh, I forgot to close the car. Boom. The car is closed. By the way, I'm recording this in the car if you're listening only. And so my story is there's content changed my life. I want to change yours with content as well. And so what I talk on this podcast is basically what I did during the week, what I learned during my week, because I experiment a lot. I do different things that most people do, I think, which one of them is being carnivore. So if I'm tired, if I look like a little, I've lost a lot of weight, was not on purpose anyway. And so on this podcast, I truly want to help you out as I was helped out with content, and help you become truly free and successful, get to the next level of success. This is the true purpose of this podcast, and just make your overall life better. Even if you're not an entrepreneur. Oh my God. Also, I'm not a native English speaker, so, bear with me, because the things I'm going to be talking about right now is going to be pretty insightful and useful to you anyway, even though my language is not perfect. So, by the way, if you have some value out of this, if you get some value out of this, please share the show. I don't do this to make money. I do this to actually help you and help as many people as possible, and you would help tremendously. Sharing the show with your friends, your followers, whatever. I thank you. Let's get into it. So, what did I do this week? I made a decision following a new framework, because I've talked about how to make decisions before on this podcast, different frameworks. Right now, I'm going to be talking to you about how to make the decision once you have enough information. And this will be up to you to decide. Get some information, get some data, seek the advice of experts, of people that might know better than you, to gather information, and then with this information, you'll be able to make a decision following this process. So you might, watch another podcast, which it's just like basically you just gather data, right? Because if you gotta first know about your situation, right, to be able to take a decision on it, right? Most people know about their situations. It's just in case that you have a knowledge that you lack, right? But for this part, we're going to be focusing on making the decision. And so I followed the framework that I got from Leila Hormozi. Complete, like, it's her process and her ideas that I'm taking up right now and sharing with you because they've been useful to me. And so I think they'll be useful to you. And I'll tell you exactly how I applied them so that I, tell you how to do it yourself. So, why people make bad decisions? There's 4 particular reasons for it. One, which I know really well because I've been guilty of seeing and just looking out for as many options as possible, right? When you're an entrepreneur, at least for me, I want to have all the options possible, and yet sometimes it's not the best choice. It's not the best situation to have all the choices that you would want to. Because the first reason why people make bad decisions is decision paralysis by having too many options. There's just too many solutions, too many options, too many combination of decisions to make. So you're just overwhelmed and you just don't know how to decide because there's just too many things to take into account. And so this is the paradox of choice. Too many choices lead to bad decisions. Number 2, the prison of perfectionism. You fear that you'll make an imperfect decision, which is nonsense because there's no perfect decision. There's just like the best decision that you can take right now at one given moment with the information that you have at your disposal right now. And so you don't have to be scared of, in the future, regretting the decision that you made right now because it is the best decision that you can take right now with this information. Later on, you'll have more decisions, you'll have more information on this decision, and so you will be better suited to make a better decision, but it's not useful to try to make this best decision right now because you can't know after you have enough data. Like, there's only so many information that you can get after it's becoming irrelevant that you get more information to make a better decision. So there's no perfect solution, right? Just take a decision. That's it. This is the goal. The goal is to take the decision, not to make the perfect one. Shift in mindset that really has served me. Also, you could ask yourself, which problem would I rather deal with? The problems I already have right now, without having to make this decision, or the problem that I will have making this decision. So for example, right now, you have certain problems, let's say with your car, right? You have a problem with your car and you want to make a decision whether you want to buy another car or not, and which car you want to buy, right? A lot of decisions to make. Well, would you rather deal with the problem that you're having right now with your car, or the new problems that will arrive once you have a new car, right? With a new insurance and new paperwork and all those, and having to make a decision between all those cars, right? And this is the problem that you're going to deal with once you make the decision. So, is it worth it for you to make the decision or not? 3, we have never learned to make decisions and we have no process for it. And this is why this podcast is for here. This podcast is for that. You have a framework now. And maybe there's a PDF or a file, Google Doc maybe, in the link of the description that you can take and, have the process step by step. Right now I'm explaining it to you more clearly that you can understand the framework that I went on with to make my decision. But you can just take this process and, answer the questions right below every single questions, and it will be very easy for you to make decisions like this. Number 4, we turn practical problems into emotional problems and we escalate them. We make them turn into something way bigger than they are. And it doesn't make sense. We don't do this, of course, rationally. It's just completely emotional. So, for example, you might mess up somewhere in your business and you might say, oh my God, I'm such a bad leader, even though it was just one bad decision, you act like, oh my God, I'm not made to become an entrepreneur. And you make this, oh my God, this big deal out of nothing. It's just like a tiny problem, and you just increase the the length, the importance of it, which doesn't make sense. But like, we're so involved in the process that, oh my God, this is what's happening. This is like, you need to take a step back, and sometimes a mentor is really useful for that. Now, how to avoid making stupid decisions and hopefully make pretty good ones. There's 4 steps, and for each step, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. But before this, let me drink a little bit of water. It's really, really hot. So, step number one, identify the right question to ask yourself. A good question to ask yourself, eliminate 90% of the options. A lot of the options are just eliminated when you have a good question that you ask yourself. It's clear, it's precise. It's not vague and too general. It's just like straight to the point and very precise, and it eliminates a lot of choices. For example, a bad question. What could the bad question be? Let's say, with the example of the car. Your car broke down, or maybe there's like too many problems and you want to change it, right? And you're facing this decision that you want to make. The decision is, which car should I buy? This question is a bad question. Which car should I buy? It is general, it's too vague, it's not precise, it doesn't eliminate any choices. So what you want to do instead is make it precise. Make it eliminate all the choices. So the good question to ask yourself would be something like, would a Mercedes, a Ferrari, or BMW be more practical, right? Now we know exactly what you're solving for, right? The most important criteria in your car is practicality. Okay, so you know that. The choices that you feel like you want more are a Mercedes, Ferrari, or BMW, right? Those are 3 cars that you hesitate between, and therefore it eliminates 90% of all those thousands of other cars that you could get. Thousands of other brands of cars that you could get, right? So you know exactly, like, it makes it very easier to take a decision with this question than which car should I buy? Which car should I like? Okay, there's 1,000 options. What do we want, right? Ask yourself the right question, precise question. It really, really helps. This is how I've been able to make decisions. Like, this is the one shift that makes 90% of the 90% of the progress is made on this question. So really choose your question really well. And so maybe you want to solve for not only practicality, but also the car of your liking. So for example, a question could be, would a Mercedes, a Ferrari, or BMW be more practical and be more to my liking? Which one of these cars would be more to my liking and more practical? You get what I mean. Number 2, you separate the problem from the symptoms, because you could be messing it up. Like, you could be messing up in between the two. So what's the exact problem? To define it, you need to know, okay, what are the symptoms that I'm noticing? Like, the question is, I forgot what I want to say. Oh yeah. You separate the problem from the symptoms. So, what are the main reasons you are noticing those symptoms? And the thing that you need to think about is, why do I feel like I need a new car, right? How did the problem came up, right? That's the problem. Okay, I'm noticing that my car is breaking down. Therefore, these are the symptoms that I want to eliminate. And so it makes everything easier for you. You can also ask yourself, what is going on now that if it stopped would make the symptoms go away? the symptoms that you're noticing, what would make them go away? So, for example, on the example of the car, your car is breaking down. You could just repair it. You could bring it to, the car repair shop, right? Instead of buying a new car. Why be so extreme? It could create an option that you haven't considered before. You could also ask yourself, what is not happening that if it did happen, would make the symptoms go away? So if my car didn't have any problem, didn't have didn't break down, I would not have the symptoms that I'm noticing. That could be another way to find out what are the exact symptoms, to really discover the origin of the problem. If you don't, you're not going to be able to solve the problem very well. Step number 3, test your assumptions. Where am I substituting opinions for facts? This implies that you have a false belief, that you have a limiting belief, something that just you think is true, but it's not really. You could ask yourself, okay, for example, you can, Leila Hormozi said this example. I can't lose weight, I've tried everything. It is just a great example. I've been a personal trainer myself, and it's just a great example. You've tried everything. And you ask yourself, is this true? Is this so true that you would put your life on the line? Maybe not. And so therefore, maybe you didn't try everything. And so maybe you don't have a problem. Maybe there's actually a solution now. Number 4, clarify your solutions, clarify your options for the decisions and the most likely outcomes. So this is a sort of a Google sheet, right? Some Excel sheet, whatever. And what I did was, okay, in one column, I list all the options. So ask yourself, tell yourself, okay, here are the 3 things I could do to make the decision or solve this problem. Here are the 3 things. Okay, I can either buy a Mercedes, I can either buy a BMW, or a Lamborghini, whatever. These are the 3 options. List them in one column, right? One column, okay, options. Second column, benefits. So ask yourself, what is the advantage of this option? What are the advantages of this option? What are the disadvantages of this option? And then, in the fourth column, ask yourself, could I live with the worst case disadvantage? With the worst case scenario happening if I chose this car, the worst thing happened, would I be okay with that? Yes or no? That's the thing. And is that your preference? Okay, would you be able to, do you want to be able to live with this or not? Maybe you don't want to, and so you can't. Maybe you could actually, but you don't want to, right? So you don't want to do this. And then in the fifth column, you write, what is the probability of the worst case scenario happening? And so if it is a high probability that it's happening, no good. If it's a low probability of it happening, well, it's pretty good, and you feel more comfortable taking the action toward this, making this decision. Oh my God, today my English is really not the best. Then you have all those things listed out. All you have to do now is choose. Now, how do you choose? Well, all you have to do is ask yourself which option has the most amount of benefits, right? Advantages, and the least amount of disadvantages, of drawbacks, right? Not only now, but also 10 years from now, right? So which one is worth it for you to do right now and for the next 10 years? So with this in mind, you take it into account the second the third order consequences. So if you make this decision right now to buy a Lamborghini, the first consequence might be, oh my God, I love this car. It's fast, it's beautiful, I get status from it. Oh my God, all those advantages, right? But then the second order consequence is that you always want to drive in this car and you waste time. And then you're not working anymore in your business. And then next thing you know, fourth order consequence, you go bankrupt. Could happen. Now, there's like, depending on you, depending on your circumstances, it differs. But take all those second order consequences into account. This is why you need to think, okay, right now, what's the most amount of compounding benefits right now and 10 years from now? If there's like bad things happening in 10 years from now, maybe not make this decision. So yeah, this was the process to make decisions. I think it's very useful. It helped me really like make the decision really efficiently. There should be a link for a Google Doc sheet. I'll put all those questions so that it's easier for you to just follow along and just answer right under it to make any decisions you want to make. Number 2, this week I read again for the second time The One Thing, the book The One Thing, and I applied it by defining more clearly my essential mission in my life by asking myself one simple question. And this question made me think about a lot of things. So, the question that I asked myself was, what's the one thing? And if you know the book, The One Thing, he always, he's talking about the one thing that's making reference to it makes the reference to the determinant question. I think this is how he calls it. It's like one question that makes, okay, what's the one thing that would make everything else easier or useless, right? This is the one thing. It focuses on the one biggest lever to pull that would make everything else easier or unnecessary. And so I asked myself, what's the one thing I want to do and help the world with? And it's like, it came pretty easily to me once I asked myself this question, because I was thinking back to what I liked when I was a kid. And to be able to do this, you need to have made some kind of introspection. So there's Patrick Bet-David, the personal identity audit. It's a great way to make an audit of your life, an audit of who you are, really discovering who you are, yourself, being self-aware, discovering your limiting beliefs, your fears, your values, what you truly want and desire in your life, what makes you tick. It really is useful. So I would encourage you to just do that. You can find it in the book Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. Great book. I haven't read it in its entirety, I think, but the personal identity audit, I've done that. It's very useful. And also, I journaled a lot, and so I always, every day I write my thoughts. I notice how I feel, what things didn't go right, what things did go right, what things I liked, what things I didn't like, and I kind of know myself better because of this. And so the answer when asking myself this question was coming pretty easily to me. But you could ask yourself to find the answer to this question. If it doesn't come easily to you, you could ask yourself those questions that would make it easier, I think. So, what did I like when I was a kid? And so I was like, okay, I always loved movies. What did I like about movies? And you go deeper. You just try to dig deeper. I liked feeling inspired. I liked feeling emotions, all those, like, it kind of was an escape to me. And I just know that I liked feeling those things, those emotions of movies. And at the same time, okay, we'll let this pass. There's a big tractor coming. Okay. I also asked myself, what did I like to do when I was a kid? And so I liked to be immersed. I don't think I answered this question. This was not useful to me. But like maybe you could ask yourself, because depending on what you like, you'll discover what is your purpose in life, what you like to do. And oftentimes when you're a kid, it just like comes naturally to you. You tried a bunch of things and you like something and you stick with it. Maybe there's a tiny thing in a video game that you played when you were a kid that made you feel free. And so right now you're passionate about freedom and you want to help people become free as well. This kind of was the case to me, for me as well. What inspired me? I asked myself, okay, what inspired me? Successful people inspired me. People that went from nothing going to get a lot of things and have a great life and help other people. This inspired me. And so I want to do this as well. What changed your life at any given moment in your life? Like, so when you were a kid, when you grow older, whenever in your life, when someone or something has changed your life, what was it, right? To me also, at one point, it was fitness. It changed my life. It gave me more confidence when I was a kid. I'm saying when I was a kid because I kind of started fitness when I was 12 years old. Because I was bullied at one point in school. Like I was getting like picked on. Like not really bullied. I don't like this term, but like I wasn't really like being respected at school. I was in a harsh neighborhood as well, so it was like not that easy to mitigate. How to create respect for yourself, especially when you're scared of letting your parents down because you're in school and son of immigrants and things of this nature, right? This is my story, right? And so I went into fitness at this young age. Not in fitness, I was just doing push-ups, but it changed my life. Seeing people on TV being like bodybuilders, people in fitness that had great bodies, and they were like they seem pretty powerful. I wanted that, right? What changed your life? And when you ask yourself this question, you can find the answer easier. And so to me, my mission, I went deep in my mind multiple times, and it always comes down to this. I want to inspire, motivate, and educate the world. My big mission in life, this is that. Hopefully I inspire, motivate, and educate as many people as possible. This is the reason for this podcast. This is what I want to do with my business. This is all I want. Why? Because my life has been changed by being inspired. My life has been changed by being motivated and educated. When I was just educated in class, in school, I was not educated really. Because people that didn't understand motivation. My professor didn't understand how to make me want to learn that. So I didn't learn. I was not motivated to work, right? And I mean, I was a pretty A grade student up until I was in high school. Because at high school I realized, okay, what's the point? I just graduated and I'm just still imprisoned in school. Same thing. So why study? What's the point? I'm still not free and I'm still in jail. To me, this is how I view it. I viewed it. And so yeah, this is my purpose. For example, like a doctor that's going to educate you with quotation marks here is going to tell you, okay, if you continue to do this, man, you're going to have cancer. And the guy that smokes cigarettes every day, he knows. Right? He might get it, he might not get it, he knows, right? Whatever. A good doctor that just really knows how to make people change their behaviors, which is what matters. He understands motivation. He's going to say, hey man, do you want to be here for your kids when they graduate? And let's say this is something really important for him, right? He understands what makes him tick. He's got a real good relationship with his patients. Do you want to be there for your grandkids? Do you want to be able to be healthy with your grandkids? He was like, well, yeah, of course, why? And I was like, well, if you continue this road, man, it's not going to happen. You're going to be long dead. You're not going to be able to see that. Your kids are going to resent you because you haven't taking care of you, is going to be messy. With a serious tone like this, and this will be more likely to change this guy. We will like, what? And maybe this will make him realize, okay, I need to change. And this will work more or less for someone that smokes, but someone that is fat, morbidly obese fat, is just a problem for his health. Hopefully nobody watching this will deny that. He's going to, okay, I need to change. And he's motivated, and because he's motivated, he's going to take the action, he's going to take the decision to make things change. And this is why I want to inspire. Inspiring people makes them like, okay, I want to do more in life. Motivate them is going to make them take action, and educate them is going to make them take action on the right things. Because I was at one point inspired and motivated, but I was not educated. I didn't know what was possible. And online content made me educated. Online content made me discover that I could become my own boss. I didn't know. I have no idea. Nobody taught me this in school. Like I couldn't figure out, okay, what I would do with my life. The only path was being a doctor, being a personal trainer, I guess. Even that I didn't know. I just like stumbled upon it. And an engineer, a lawyer, but that was like the only path that was presented to me. I didn't know I could be a salesperson. I didn't know this existed. Even though I came across them, I didn't know it was something that could study or anything like this. I didn't. Becoming my own boss, an entrepreneur, what is that? I didn't know. Anyway, this is why my mission is to inspire, motivate, and educate people, the world. Number 3, while I was reading, let me drink a little bit because I'm just so thirsty. I did another exercise in the One Thing, the book, The One Thing, which is asking yourself multiple times a similar question to figure out your essential long-term goal up until what you need to do right now, what's the essential thing for you to do right now, which will make the most amount of progress possible towards your goals. And so this was the framework. So let me just highlight where I was so that I just don't get lost. Boom. Okay. So this was goal setting to the now. You need first to have a someday goal. What is the one thing I want to do someday? If you did this one thing someday, your life would have been worth it. What would that be? Right? It's kind of your mission. I personally didn't write only one thing. I wrote a situation. So it's a context. It's how my life, I would want my life to be, which I'll talk about later. It's pretty powerful if you want to create a system around that. But this is for later. So someday goal. And then you have a 5-year goal. And for this goal, you're going to ask yourself, based on my someday goal, what's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years to get to my someday goal? And for example, let's say your mission is to inspire, educate, motivate the world. My 5-year goal could be, I want to create great schools, right? I want to create a great private school, but also accessible to anyone that is actually motivated, that's actually willing to put in the effort to be educated, that will allow experts' knowledge for everyone. Okay, this could be it. This could be my 5-year goal. My God, I'm just really like, what's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years to, educate the world? Could be building a great school. Then your 1-year goal. Based on my 5-year goal, why am I saying this? Gold. I'm just saying gold every time. Based on my 5-year goal, what's the one thing I can do this year? Okay, I want to build a great school. Maybe I need to build a great business first to be able to, right? Finance this great school. Or maybe my 5-year goal is to build a great business around education, right? Instead of the school, let's say, okay, my 5-year goal is to build a great business in education and marketing. Because I'm in marketing right now, I'm going to mix the two to motivate and educate at the same time, right? And so my 1-year goal could be, okay, create the best product, the best service possible. So if I have this great product or service, it's going to be very much easier to build a great business out of this because of word of mouth, because you're going to actually have results for your clients. It's not going to be a problem to have clients, right? All those things. Monthly goal. Based on my 1-year goal, what's the one thing I can do this month? If you want to build a great product, let's say for example, a great service, the one thing I could do this month could be surveying your customers and knowing exactly what they like to create a better offer, to improve your product. Know exactly what your customers or clients like and don't like about your product. So this could be your one thing this month that you could do that would make everything else easier or unnecessary. And then your weekly goal. Based on my monthly goal, what's the one thing I can do this week to make everything else easier or unnecessary to achieve your monthly goal. And if your monthly goal is to survey your customers, maybe this week you can find the best way to learn how to survey your customers the best way, right? To learn how to get the best answers, to then get the best answers from to get the best answer from your clients, and then create the best offer possible. Improve your product on the right things that actually matter for them. Based on your weekly goal, so you want to learn how to make the best survey possible this week. Based on your weekly goal, what's the one thing that you can do today? If you want to learn how's the best way to survey customers, maybe the one thing would be to find the best person that is really good at surveying people, right? Google it, right? And this is the next point. Right now, based on my daily goal, what's the one thing I can do right now to find the best person that knows how to survey people the best? Google it. Ask some people that might know that, right? And so this is right now what you can do right in the moment. And so right now you see we've came across from your further long-term goal purpose. We've seen exactly how it relates in each steps. Long-term, 5 years, 1 year, 1 month, 1 week, today, right now. And when you have this, it's just you're automatically motivated to take the action right now because you know exactly what are the consequences of it. You know exactly this is the one most important thing. If I do this, I'll immediately get closer to all those things. It's just very, very useful to me. I hope it is for you too. Maybe I'll put an image. You can Google it. Image, right? The one thing, goal setting to the now. And you can write maybe long-term goal, 1 year goal, 5 year goal, 5-year goal. And it will, I think an image will pop up on Google Image, whatever. Then the fourth thing I did this week was, let me check how much time do we got left. Oh my God. I did this week also, I dressed up. I dressed up to work. To work, meaning my home office. Just me, alone, on my computer, not even talking to much people this week. I dressed up in a full suit. Just like that. Full suit. Why did I do that? Because I was trying to, get more into my new identity, new person that I am. And there's a lot of research, I think. I saw a lot of research that just proved that when you dress up, your performances increase. When you dress up and you dress really well, you feel better. You are more confident, and this actually happened. I was more confident. I was working faster. I was more professional just because I dressed up. I was ready. I was feeling ready for any opportunity. And when you dress up, it makes you feel like, okay, you need to work right now. And it also allowed me to have a better transition toward, okay, right now I'm working, right now I'm not anymore. It was easier to make this transition because I just dressed down. I was going to the gym, right? So I just took off my suit and wear my sportswear, right? And I think it was a great thing. I think I'm going to still continue to do that just for me. Don't care. Just always dress up. Even if you talk to nobody, dress up. Maybe right now I went full suit with, tie and everything. Maybe I will just scale this down a little bit. I was even wearing shoes, the suit shoes, right? Just not comfortable, but it made me more productive. I also got unstuck on my course and on my goals by just doing this one thing and shifting my mindset toward this thing. And if you are stuck right now, it's because you are trying to do everything perfectly. Don't try to do everything perfectly. Make the goal to take imperfect action. Make imperfect action the goal. If you take imperfect action and you make that the goal, you make the goal also learning. You make the goal just trying things up and figuring out, okay, this works, this doesn't. Okay, I can iterate on that. Okay, I get feedback. And so you just have a good positive feedback loop that works for you. But if you're stuck, you have no momentum, you have no progress, you have no increased awareness of what is good for you to do, what is not good for you to do. So don't try to make perfect actions. Don't go for quality, especially when you're stuck. Don't go for quality. Go for quantity. Go for just okay. You keep hitting the problem from everything that you can, however you can, even imperfectly. Even if you know it's not going to work, okay, at least you'll know. Okay, this doesn't work. I was taking this course and I was stuck on one module of the course for now 3 weeks. It just so pissed me off. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to go through it, even because I was going in this mindset. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to apply every single bit of what words come out of this guy's mouth. I'm going to apply every single thing. Now, this is a good thing to take into account what he's saying, but don't try to make it perfect. Apply everything that he's saying in an imperfect way. Just, okay, you hear something or you need to do, boom, you do it. However it is. However it might be, not perfect, not really good, just actions. Take massive actions fast. And this way, I made more progress. This way, I'm not stuck anymore and you can come back to it later. This is the point. You can come back and fix your mistake. It's not the biggest deal ever. Allow yourself the time to learn. And if you go about it in a learner mindset, you'll make way more progress. Every single time I took on a new project, when I was going into it in a way, okay, it needs to work right now, it needs to be perfect right now, I didn't make it perfect, I didn't make progress. But when I went into the mindset, okay, I need to progress, I need to learn, I need to iterate, I need to make repetitions right now, I made progress, I increased my skills, and I actually just achieved my goals. I didn't achieve my goals because I was setting completely off the hook goals, goals that would way ahead of my league. I was setting my goal to be millions when I was not making any money when I was starting in business. So I didn't really achieve my goal, but I made a lot of progress. And I was priding myself on that, not on okay, I'm doing things perfectly. Don't care about this. It's not a solution that works. And so this way you can get unstuck. Just try to, okay, I'm going to learn, I'm going to figure out. Take just small actions right now, like this. It's okay. Then I made a few mistakes this week, and I took from it 7 lessons. 1, don't change what you focus on. When you decided to have a certain focus. So I have certain deep works in my work, right? And I have a focus. This week I changed the focus and messed everything up, right? So I was supposed to do one thing, I had an idea about something, and so I went on and executed on that idea thinking, this is one of my other lessons, which is not rationalizing, taking action on your distractions, because they could be good ideas. They end up most of the time distracting you from the boring work that you need to do. So I was doing boring work, and next thing you know, I had an idea, a great idea. Oh my God, an illumination. Oh, I need to take massive action on this idea quick, right? Because the quicker you put into action, the more powerful you are, right? No, because I was just escaping from the boring work that I was doing. This was the focus. This was the main thing that I needed to do. I didn't do it. And the good thing is that you can manage yourself like this. You can just, okay, you see exactly what you do. And the reason why I can do this is because I actually have an after action report on my week. I have a coach on my computer that I need to refer to. Not even a real coach. I have a real coach. I've taken training programs, but like I myself, I'm my own coach as well. I have a sheet, an Excel sheet on which I write exactly what I do. And so I have some accountability, and I'm ashamed of going into this Excel sheet if I didn't do the proper things. And so I will do the proper things because this is my rule. I have to complete this Excel sheet. I have to write down what I did, what I did not do. And it is very, very useful to have that. 3rd mistakes, take action faster. Well, this is the lesson I learned. Take action faster to learn faster. And the goal is imperfect action to be able to learn and iterate. So this is what I told you earlier. This is one of the lessons that I learned also. Just make the goal imperfect action. Progress, learn. That's it. No perfect action. It doesn't exist. It's not even productive to do that. Resume the day earlier to be able to take your mind off of things and make it easy to plan next morning before sleeping. So basically what I stop my work day on, about 3 p.m. So I work from the morning up until 3 p.m. on the work, like business work. And after that, I stop. But I don't resume the day really. So I still have to keep in mind, okay, what I need to do next. Right now, I just shut it up, I stop it. And so because I stop it and I resume, okay, this is what I did, this is what I did not do. I do it immediately after I stop working, right? And just this way, it just allows you to go off of your business. Just be able to be more productive after that, because then I go to the gym, I eat, I do lots of other things. And so I'm able to do them properly. And when I plan the next morning, because I don't plan immediately, because it depends on what happens after that, I plan just immediately right before bed. I'm able to plan it way better because I've already wrote down, okay, what's the situation? Where am I? I know where I am. And so I can aim better because I already know where I am, what I did not do. And so I know, okay, next morning I need to do that pretty easily, and it flows naturally like this. Then, don't care about your weaknesses. Trust in your ability to figure it out, to solve your problems as they come. Don't try to fix any problems in the future. And don't prevent yourself of taking into an opportunity, going into an opportunity just because you don't have the skills yet. Because you can get them. You can pay someone else to get them. You can incentivize someone to make it good, to solve your problems for you. You could do tons of things. Don't limit yourself just because you don't have know-how right now. It should not matter. All that matters is just, okay, you decided to do this or that. You see an opportunity, okay, it's a good opportunity. Oh, okay. So you trust in your ability to figure it out, and so you actually take on this opportunity. You don't dismiss it just because you think you can't, right? To solve a problem, you need to be specific about it. So this is a really good question, because I was taking this after action report of mine, right? And trying to learn from my mistakes, but I was writing problems that were too general. And so if they were too general, I could not get to the root of them, and I could not then figure out a solution. Be specific. Okay, what's the exact thing that went wrong? What's the exact thing that didn't go as you would want to, as you would want it to, or what did you not do exactly? What did you focus on that you shouldn't focus on? What is it exactly? Not be too general. Oh, I got distracted. I was writing this. Got distracted. Distracted by what? When? Be specific. If you are specific, you're going to be able to learn from your mistake. Be able to, okay, this is the root cause. I can take out this distraction. Okay, well, right now there's no problem anymore. That's great. And so this is why being specific about the problem that you are trying to attack. Okay, you just aim, boom, problem solved. Way easier like this. Be specific. Always be specific toward your problems. And then this week was pretty hard. I'm doing carnivore. I'm depleted of dopamine. I wanted to play. I was, this week for 1 hour, I was scrolling on Amazon trying to find Legos. This is to tell you, I was so freaking distracted because of how depleted of dopamine I was. I'm eating nothing that just is good, tasty. There's sugar all around me. I dream of food. It's just to tell you, I dream of eating food that is not meat and chicken and salt and water. This is all I eat, right? And so it's been like 3 weeks. I don't know exactly how much it's been. I'm going to check it out right now. I think it's been like 3 weeks right now. And 1, 2, 3 weeks and 2 days. I've been on carnivore. I just can't take it anymore. I'm just like so desperate for any kind of other food. Just like some rice would just be great. And so I'm really distracted. And at one point, I wake up in the morning. I'm just like, I'm tired. I haven't slept well. I was not disciplined enough to sleep early. And so I still wake up early, but I'm just too tired. And at this point, you might be tempted to give up. At this point, you might, I forgot why I'm doing what I'm doing. I forgot my mission. I forgot everything. I forget my goals. I forget everything. Your memory is flawed. Don't count on it. Try to be very, practical about it. Okay, I could mess it up. I could be tempted to give up. And so for that, you need a system. And this is why I created the 3-part series training program for your mindset. Because I did it for myself. It works. At this point, this morning, I was unmotivated. I forgot totally about my goals. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Even though I had planned, I didn't have any motivation. Even though you needed to be disciplined. But when you lack this excitement to do the things, you're not going to do them as well. You're not going to make enough progress for you to actually achieve your goals. And so you need to stay highly excited. I think it was Churchill that said, or Winston Churchill, I believe, that said, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Well, this system allows you to do that. This system is just, okay, you brainwash yourself for success and you remind yourself constantly. The reminders are really important. I went to church this week. I'm a Christian, believer Christian. I believe it's good to believe in God. I respect anything. I have friends of all walks of life, which people that are good people. I don't have some people that have bad intentions toward me or toward anybody. But, I'm a Christian. I went to church and we are reminded of the death of Christ because it's a reminder. It's a reminder of, okay, he loves me, he died for me, and this is the suffering that he went through so that I can live a better life, so I can be saved. This is you remember, and sometimes you forget about your goals. You need to remember that. And so because of this, you need a system. And I created for me a system for my future life, for my desires, for my goals, for my the way I want to transform my life. I know exactly all of this because of my documents, because of my system. I read the system, I imagine myself, I visualize precisely my next life, and I'm just so pumped up to my goals. I'm so pumped up to get to the next level. I'm so pumped up to just get rid of this situation that just isn't like suited for me. I am becoming a person that is better. I am becoming this new person that is capable of achieving my dreams effortlessly. And so because of this, the system was just tremendously useful this week. And it will be again for the next years to come for me. And I really think it will be the most profitable thing for you to do is to work on that. This would be the one thing that you could do that would make everything else easier or unnecessary. This 3-part series training program, like actually take it as a real mindset training that I filmed for you. It costs $1,000, but right now prices are off and it's completely free for you. And you know what? I might consider taking it down at one point. So you might be like, it might be more profitable for you to just go check it out right now. Maybe it's on the screen right now. I hope you like this podcast. I really enjoy you that you stayed up until now. And I hope to see you on this mindset training. Watch it, subscribe, and share the show if you got some value. Bye.